Hello, Blue Jays fans. Welcome back to East Coast Blue Jays. I'm your host, Patrick McGraw. Thank you all for coming in on this March 24th Monday. It's a beautiful day here in New Miramichi, New Brunswick. But let's get things going. So, Ryan Yarbrough has decided to use his opt-out clause yesterday. He is no longer a Toronto Blue Jay. He did not make the 26-man roster. But before we get things going, if you like to follow the content of the Blue Jays or like my content, give us a like and a subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. So let's get things going. A breakdown of what happened over the last couple of days. So yes, thank you all for coming in again. So the Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Ryan Yarbrough has opted out on his deal with the team after being notified that he will not be part of the team's opening day roster. Yarbrough used his opt-out clause on his deal with the Toronto to become a free agent and test the free agency to find out an MLB before the start of the MLB season. So, this is very interesting. I mean, we just picked him up there, February 21st? Left-handed pitcher? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the Jays decided to let him go, but let's dig deep further into this and see what's going on. So the Blue Jays had until Sunday at 2 p.m. to sign Ryan Yarbrough. So the Blue Jays are not adding Ryan Yarbrough, who has slated to pitch today. He was supposed to pitch yesterday, but he packed up his stuff in his locker and left at PDC. He'll become a free agent at 2 p.m. Eastern. So now any player, any team can pick Ryan Yarbrough. He is now officially a free agent as of Sunday at 2 p.m. So yeah, I was quite shocked. Kind of like, what is going on here? So the news came out as quite a shock, since most believed that the Blue Jays would end up putting Yarbrough on their 26-man roster, since he has been so solid for them. But it looks like they thought he should start the season in the minors, which is why they released him. Fans do not seem to be very happy about the move, but it's not her choice, but that's what the team decided on. So it seemed to me that it was mutual on both sides. It seemed to me he is a starting pitcher, but there wasn't a spot for him. He was supposed to be sent down to AAA Buffalo Bison to start down there. If something happens, obviously, you bring him up. But right now, our backup catcher, or backup starter, is Yariel Rodriguez. He's the backup starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. So maybe there was an issue there. I don't know. Yes, again. So Ryan Yarbrough was picked up by the Blue Jays in the offseason on February 21st. He was officially signed as a left-handed pitcher to a minor league deal to an invite to spring training. Welcome back. He did play for the Jays last year for, I think it was maybe 8 or 9 starts, and he did very well, and he did pretty good this spring training. But I guess we didn't see what the Jays saw. So this was the last roster moves for the Toronto Blue Jays yesterday. So the utility man Addison Barger and outfielder Stuart Burra has been optioned to AAA Buffalo Bison. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be called up throughout the season, but we'll probably see them back up very shortly. So the following players have been reassigned as well to minor league camp. Catcher Christian Bethancourt, I liked him. Left-handed pitcher Eric Lawler. Another catcher, Ali Sanchez, and the infielder, Michael Stefanik. Additionally, left-handed pitcher Ryan Yarbrough has been granted his release and is now a free agent. So Ryan Yarbrough was granted by the Toronto Blue Jays to be released, to use his opt-out clause, because that's what was in his contract. Something happens, he can opt out, and that's what he did. So it was Ryan that decided to leave the Toronto Blue Jays. Not that the Toronto Blue Jays releasing him. They granted his release, and that's what they did. Another thing to mention, so Ryan Yarbrough and Burns both had opt-out in their contracts. Yarbrough, he already triggered his opt-out. As far as Jacob Burns, he was also he could have used it as well. But the Toronto Blue Jays decided to sign Jacob Burns into the 26-man roster. And the Toronto Blue Jays didn't want Ryan, I guess. And so, like I said earlier, he decided to opt out and get into the free agent market again. Hopefully he get picked up by one of the other 29 teams. So here is his 2024 MLB Percentile rankings. Maybe the Jays didn't really care for what he threw. I mean, his sinker was 86 at max. His curveball 71. His four-seam fastball was only hitting 86.7 miles an hour. Changeup 77, and his cutter was 83. So a lot of these pitchers today, they throw around probably around 95 to 100 miles an hour. If you're not close to that, and you're probably not going to be a starting pitcher unless you have really good stuff that really moves. Maybe his fastball was not wasn't very inviting for the Blue Jays, but I don't know. Hard to say what to think. So yes, if Yarbrough did not decide to use his opt-out, Yarbrough would have been sent to AAA Buffalo Bison with another opt-out date after the end of April. However, it makes sense for Ryan Yarbrough to opt out as he had a good spring training, posting a 4.05 ERA and a 1.81 VIP in 6.2 innings pitched with a 27.6 K and a 3.4 BB percentage. So yes, good luck to Ryan Yarbrough. Wish him the luck. So this is our bullpen for your Toronto Blue Jays. So Jacob Burns made the team, and Richard Lovelady have made the Blue Jays roster. John Snyder says on Sportsnet broadcasts. The bullpen is now Jeff Hoffman, Jimmy Garcia, Chad Green, Brandon Little, Nick Sandlin, Jacob Burns, Richard Lovelady, and Yaro Rodriguez. So there was a lot of question why would they sign Richard Lovelady and not Ryan Yarbrough? That was a big question. I don't know. What do you guys feel? Leave a comment below. Share your thoughts about it. I'm not real sure, but like I said, I'm not the manager of the team. I didn't pick the team, but maybe they seen something they didn't like. I don't know. So yeah, don't feel like you guys are the only ones that kind of feel this way. Like, why did we not sign him? He's left-handed pitcher. He's got good stuff. He did good last year for the Jays. He did good this spring training. We're not the only one. I mean, Buck and Dan, they kind of feel the same way. He said, not to rag, but Buck and Dan also talking on the broadcast how surprised they were that Ryan Yarbrough isn't on the team. Struggled to understand how a decision could be made to cut Yarbrough, with your last two guys being Lovelady and Burns. You can find someone on the 40 men to go. So yeah, that wraps it up with Yarbrough exercises his opt-out. So Dan and Buck is kind of confused. I'm kind of confused. I thought it was a great pickup there a month ago. I even did a little bit of content about it. Like I said, he did great last year. He did great this spring training. Maybe it was his fastball. He only had an 86-mile fastball. Maybe it just wasn't that great. But maybe I seen Richard Lovelady pitch, and he did great. I liked him. So it was a toss up there. But anyway, how do you guys feel about this? I don't know. Leave a comment below. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. But you know what, boys? Only a few more days until the opening day of your Toronto Blue Jays. Thursday, 4:07 Atlantic time, because I'm here in New Brunswick, Canada. Don't miss it. I'm excited about the season starting up. Finally, it's been so long. We went through the free marks. We went through the off season of signing Santander, Andres Gimenez, Hoffman, a few others to mention. I think we have a great chance of taking the American League this year. Yes, I'm saying it. We're projected to get 85, 86 wins this year, but I'm thinking we can push probably 90. The Yankees are they're pretty injured over there. Your Rays, Boston, we're pretty leveled. Don't forget the Baltimore Orioles, so hard to say, but I like to say thank you all for coming in. And by the way, We made it to 500 subs. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank you all for subscribing to our page. It's greatly appreciated. And for now, thank you. We're from East Coast Blue Jays. My name is Patrick McGraw. Thank you all for coming. Until next time, let's go Jays. Let's go.